Hey, what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking about girls flag football with Lindsay and Tiffany. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure. And I love football, and it doesn't matter if it's flag, tackle, touch, whatever. So football is a awesome sport to talk about. Ladies, tell me about you guys. You guys here in the community. Tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I grew up here in Templeton, and I have a bunch of kids, and one of them is a girl who started playing football during COVID, actually, and she was on a pod team playing flag football, loved it, and she kept playing through rec, and so that's how it kind of got started to try to have her continue to play flag football. And so that's how this kind of got started, was that she loved playing and wanted to keep playing. And so the rec department actually in Templeton started having flag football for girls and really started flag football for everyone. But the girls program sort of took off, and she loves it and wanted to keep playing. And so we're trying to start a high school team.
So does the rec department have, like, it's specific to girls, or is it co-ed?
When it started, it was co-ed. And there were 10 girls who played out of 100 kids who signed up. 10 were girls. And then this past summer, they had enough girls to have 2 full girls teams.
Really?
Yep.
At what age?
So the ages that were full girls teams were 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
Yep.
And so they just played each other?
They did, but they played the boys too. And they actually were very competitive
They,
playing the boys.
they held their own.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They beat the boys
Yeah.
on a number of occasions,
Oh,
which
boy.
really made them upset. Yeah.
Now, Lindsay, what about you?
I didn't grow up in Templeton. I'm not from here, from Monterey, but so I have a daughter who is also in 8th grade and started playing, I think, a year after her daughter did. I have a young son who plays flag football year round. And then when they added the girls, my daughter wanted to play. So she's been playing rec for years and has also signed up for Friday Night Lights and Slow.
Okay.
It's a big time flag football program. And we have 10 girls that are going to be playing down there. That starts in February. And it is, I mean, if you ever get a chance to go and see what they put on down there, it's amazing. And the amount of girl teams down there is crazy. It's super fun to watch.
Well, flag football has kind of really taken on its own, vehicle in the last, 5 years,
Yes.
maybe a little bit longer. But it's really starting to become a popular, sport amongst boys and girls. Because you have the, possibility, concussions, right? Concussions was a big probably push towards, more of your non-contact sports, flag football, but it gives you also the ability to not necessarily be aggressors with equipment, but anybody can play. Like you say, the girls.
Yes. And that's a huge thing. We were talking with the rec department too, and there's so many girls that joined that didn't have a sport. There was no sport that our girls played multiple things, but there was multiple new athletes that joined flag football because it felt new, like something they could join even if they were 11, 12, 13 years old. Where a lot of other sports, kids are too nervous to join, or parents are too nervous to have them start fresh in a sport at that age, So it's something they feel comfortable trying out at 13 years old.
Well, you think about girls in football, right? Okay, it doesn't mesh, right? But it does. You look at girls that, softball. I always say that, I coach softball and I coach football, with all my kids growing up. And girls that play softball, or girls in general, are much meaner than boys, And you put the girls out there with the boys, they're aggressors and they like to play, they're active as just as much as a boy. So to have a sport that is for girls, that's football, I think that's a great thing.
They're feisty.
They're very feisty.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
And there are a lot of girls too who they might play another sport like soccer. Soccer is a lot of girls who play flag football. It's a natural progression from the fall flag football into soccer, and that's keeping them in shape in the fall. And they don't necessarily run cross country, and they don't necessarily play tennis or have a fall sport. And so this is giving them an opportunity to play something when they otherwise might not be. A lot of girls, when they go into high school, don't necessarily do club because they don't want to burn out their sport. They want to play something different. So I think just gives some diversity to have girls play more than one thing, and I think that's good.
So, from what I understand, flag football is not necessarily all the schools, and we're talking about high school, and we're not necessarily saying that Templeton flag football is a thing. It's you guys are still kind of at the beginning stages of this,
Very beginning,
right?
yeah.
Like this is a movement that you guys want to get the public to understand and know that there's something out there that you guys need and want some support for,
That's right.
right?
Yep.
And so with flag football and girls in high school, like let's talk about some of the most recent things. You got, Cal Poly now will have a girls flag football team. And then you got Paso, which they had their first inaugural year this past year. And I believe the year prior to that, there was a couple of schools down south, Orchid, stuff like that.
Yep.
They kind of started this whole
San Luis has
Lompoc
two teams.
has a big program.
Yeah.
Started a great program and is a really good contact for us. The athletic director there is very supportive of us starting a program up here. We've been in contact with other athletic directors, coaches, how they've gotten their programs started. There are 9 schools actually from King City down to Lompoc that we could play. And so the teams are there. And more are getting going. But yes, it's rapidly growing. I mean, there are 19,000 girls in California playing flag football at the
because
high
this is
school
still
level.
bigger. This is, I mean, outside of our area, schools, high
Huge.
schools are
Huge.
playing girls
Huge.
flag, right?
Yep.
Yes. Actually, in LA City, there are more flag football teams than there are tackle football teams.
I
Sorry.
believe that.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
Well, I mean, you watch, girls like Powder Puff. I mean, how many people are going to watch that?
It was the best time of my life. Powder
Yeah.
Puff. Like, and it's an hour, like of our lives. And I just think back and I'm like, that was the best night ever.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm from Monterey, and all my friends that I grew up with are posting videos of their kids, their daughters playing flag football at my high school, and I'm like, we need this.
So what started, I know we kind of covered a little bit, but a year ago, you guys kind of started this idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the start for it? For the lack of, the need for?
I think seeing 2 full rec teams play in the summer. I mean, the rec girls, they were really on fire for it. The girls, the 7th and 8th grade girls were really competitive. I mean, they were really excited about it. They were going at it every week. And so I think that kind of is what really started it.
And then you see everyone around you that is adding teams, seeing Paso playing and San Luis playing, and where I grew up, all the teams that are formed, and even the middle schools have teams were in Monterey. And it's like, why don't we have this option? I grew up and I played softball. That's all I did. But in the fall, I'm like, we had field hockey up there. So that's what I did to stay in shape, not necessarily because it was my sport, but it kept us in shape to leading up to softball, And for these girls that don't have a fall sport, it's just a great opportunity for them.
What was the first step that you took towards where you're at now?
Reaching out to the school, to the AD, and to the board, some of the board members,
And asking them, what do we need to do to start a program?
to start this going. We didn't get much feedback or much excitement about it. We understand we're a smaller school. We're not like San Luis and Paso have a bigger numbers than we do, but we're just trying to push the conversation because it's a lot of schools started with one team and it pushed into JV and varsity because so many people were interested. We're looking to start with one team, with one varsity team, if that's what we can get. But we're not getting. We did not get immediate support when we brought it up.
So you got a little resistance.
Yes.
questions, mainly concerns about obstacles, potential obstacles, pulling athletes from other sports.
But isn't that their choice?
It is.
So
It is. And we're talking about 15 girls. This would not be, I don't think this would be, at least right away, pulling 50 athletes out of other sports. We would start with one team if we could get them, and I think we can. We put out a survey, an unofficial, informal survey that didn't go to everyone because it was online and it was the best we could do with short time and who we could reach. But 22 girls said they would be interested in signing up if we had a team, and that's enough, and so I don't think it would pull a lot of athletes from other sports, maybe a couple. But I agree it's their choice. The other thing that came up a little bit was Title IX. I don't think that would really be an issue. Looking at our numbers, there are far more male athletes than female athletes. I don't think that would be probably an issue.
In the survey, we also asked the question, is your child involved in another fall sport, or would they be involved in another fall sport at the high school? Because we don't want that either. You don't want, but it is their choice. But I don't think, maybe one of them was already like a volleyball player or something that, would consider which sport to play, but the rest of them did not have a fall sport in the survey that we took. But like she said, it was a very...
So the idea of this would be giving, the girls an option during fall
Yes.
to have a sport.
Yes.
Instead of waiting around for their sport of choice.
Yeah, we want them involved. High school sports is the best time of your life.
Yeah.
It really is.
So have you talked to, I know our most closest one is Paso. So have you talked to the coach and the AD there?
What's difficult about there is that their AD changed right when they added their flag football team. So I reached out, but their AD didn't have a lot of information because that AD took over right as the team was added.
After the transition.
Right as the transition happened. But I have some contacts within the program who said that basically there weren't a lot of obstacles in terms of Title IX. They just added it, and it was kind of,
So
they had enough athletes.
what's Title IX about?
So Title IX is basically you have to have equitable opportunity for both sexes to play a sport. And looking at it, there's a lot of, it's not really black and white how you make that happen, whether it's number of athletes, whether it's opportunity, number of sports. And so it can be interpreted differently. But it was just one of the things that was brought up as a potential obstacle. I don't think it'll be a problem with
As in
this.
there'd have to be a boy flag football option?
Well,
or-
I mean, I obviously don't think that everybody would love that because tackle is the same season, right? And I don't, but I also don't think that will be an issue because I think that the equivalent of girls flag football would be boys tackle. There are some other competitive sports that happen at the same time. Cheer is the equivalent right now to boys tackle football. They have to be competitive cheer for that to be equivalent. So there's just some nuances to what becomes equivalent. But there are a lot less cheerleaders than there are football players. So are you looking at numbers? Are you looking at sports? You have to kind of take all those things into consideration. And we haven't really gotten those questions answered as to what those obstacles would be if that's what they're looking at.
How about parents from like the Paso team? Have you guys had any contact with them and see how the season was?
No.
No parents. But like I said, the ADs and the coaches that we've spoken to were like, just had nothing but positive things to say. And that it was kind of a inexpensive startup just because it's uniforms, flags, and footballs. It's not like gear, a ton of gear and things like that. So a lot of them were like, the athletic department funded like the startup of jerseys, and then by the next year, they had gotten grants from, was it CIF, for Nike uniforms because they're all trying to promote girls flag football, and then the fundraising, and it just kept going from there because people want to see it.
What days would games be on?
The games that were played last season were like Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
So they were during
It's
the week.
midweek.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not taken away from Friday night.
Not Friday,
but-
and we don't want that.
No.
We're Friday night like people. You
Yeah.
know? We
Right.
we and so are our kids. We look forward to it all week.
Yep.
You know, we're some of the biggest fans there.
Yeah.
We don't even have kids at that age yet. You know, so no, that's not.
So what? So you've kind of sounds like you guys got all your research and your ducks lined up. What for the school did they offer? Like you're mentioning grants. Did they offer or help to guide you guys towards that kind of stuff?
We haven't really talked about funding much. We have local businesses that are ready. We have a roundabout number of how expensive it would be to get started, and we already have that money raised. So we're not worried financially about how it's going to get going. And then we have things in the works for the years following to where we could keep it going with grants if we applied for grants and were successful in getting grants. The most expensive year is the first year because you have to have the equipment and the uniforms and that kind of stuff. But after that, it should be less expensive to keep the sport going. And hopefully the school would recognize that it's successful and want to keep it going as well. Fundraising efforts could happen. All of that stuff could happen in the second year to keep it going. But for the first year, we're set. We can go.
Awesome. Well, let's take a break real quick, and we'll hear more about the potential of girls flag football here. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hey, welcome back to What's Up North County. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And we're talking with Lindsay and Tiffany here about the potential of girls flag football in Templeton here, so which would be awesome. So we were talking about, obviously, everything sports-wise. I mean, you got equipment, which, flag football. You got, balls, you got flags, you got jerseys. And then, of course, then comes in your officials, then comes in field prep, and then comes in staffing,
Transportation.
that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that you guys have all kind of, put all that stuff into perspective as well, right?
Yep.
So what entails for a flag football game to happen? How many officials? Two?
Two
Officials?
officials.
And then, of course, you got the school grounds. You got the equipment. You got insurance, which I believe is when you're an athlete, aren't you covered for all sports?
I believe so.
I don't know
We'll have
the
to look
answer
into
to that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. But so what kind of response have you guys gotten from, just the local parents and the girls that had played with yours?
Everyone's pretty excited about it. Honestly, we've reached out to make sure the first thing is interest, right? You have to make sure you have the interest. And so we reached out to the girls who we knew had played with our girls. And really, we had enough interest from just the 8th graders to create a team. So then we started thinking, gosh, this is a lot of girls. But then we hadn't even tapped into the high school girls yet because we didn't know that many high school girls. But then once we reached into some of those groups where we had moms that we knew of those girls, it was like, gosh, there's a lot of girls in the high school level who were interested, who had played powder puff, who had, just didn't have a fall sport, or who love playing with, their brothers or whatever, and were interested. And so it kind of tapped into a whole other group of girls that's like, gosh, we could have a lot of girls who are really interested in this, and it could really take off.
Because you were talking about fall sports, and other sports that the girls are playing and stuff like that. I mean, this literally could bring out somebody that doesn't play any sports.
Yeah.
Right?
It's interesting statistic I was reading. 50% of girls who start flag football have never played a sport before at all.
Huh.
So yeah, it's really getting girls out there who have never played anything.
And then it also gives them that opportunity now, as your girls are in 8th grade, I assume. In 4 years from now, I mean, who knows what the landscape's going to look like in
Yes.
4 years amongst colleges.
Yep.
And everybody, parents wise, everybody's looking for that vehicle to college. Okay. And now, we hear about all the kids, just here locally that got full rides for golf.
Yep.
Who would have thought
Yes.
20 years ago?
Yep.
Right.
And now you
Yeah.
got Cal Poly, introducing girls flag football next year, I believe.
Yes.
And that's
It's
they're
huge.
they're recruiting for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no telling about the other colleges, larger colleges that have flag football now.
Yeah, and it's across all the states. There's 30 states now that are offering flag football at the college level. So it's everywhere, and it's going to take off even more.
So what we've got volleyball in fall. We've got cheer in fall for girls. Is that it?
Tennis,
Oh, tennis. Tennis is in fall. Wow.
yeah, and cross country.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And so that obviously now you got girls that play softball, and I've known girls that's all they do is they play softball. And so during the off season, I guess, they can either do like a travel team or whatever, but this gives them the opportunity to have another sport.
Within
something
the
else.
school. Like I said earlier, like there's nothing like high school sports. It's just the camaraderie, the environment, being an Eagle, all of it. Our kids have played travel softball and done all the things, but my priority for them would be high school sports.
Yeah.
What kind of hurdles have you guys had to jump through thus far since starting this idea?
Well, I think that hearing back from the athletic director and the superintendent and kind of getting some of the obstacles to getting going, and then going to the school board meeting. Going to the school board meeting actually was really a positive experience. Seeing the school board members kind of, be positive about the possibility and really kind of, you could tell when we spoke to them that they kind of were receptive to the idea of adding another sport, which was nice. We have also Brody Barrios is very interested in adding wrestling as well, and so he is we've talked to him as well about that, and that would also alleviate some Title IX things because that's predominantly a male sport. And so he's added a wrestling club at the middle school level. My son's doing that and loves it, and so that hopefully would be added also at the high school level, and that would be a great thing too for football, for tackle football players especially, but also for some girls do wrestling too, and that would be good for them too. But adding a sport is a difficult proposition, but seeing the school board members kind of get excited about it was exciting for us too. So that's been positive. But I think finding out what the obstacles are that we can get past and go forward with. Finances aren't a problem. Interest is not a problem. I think that we've laid out all the things that we need to do to get the team going, even for next year. I don't think there's a reason to delay. We have coaches who are ready. We have girls who are ready to play. Everything can be in place. We have teams to play. Everything can be in place to start next fall.
So your coaches that you have kind of on the line that are interested, can you tell us their names?
Yes. Vanessa Duhan and Corey George.
Okay, so Vanessa was the girls' softball coach. She's been a teacher, in Templeton for many, many years. And what a great advocate for, the girls' flag football for somebody like Vanessa.
Yes.
And I'm sure had there been an opportunity for her to play flag football, she would have been all over that as well.
Absolutely. And if you've seen her daughter, she's a little rock star too. And I'm sure when she gets to high school, she will be playing as well.
And when you did you discuss with her before even starting this whole idea, or was she after the fact, or she wanted to be a part of it?
She was approached after the fact, but she's really busy. I mean, she also, like us, we have 7 kids between us, and Vanessa also has a lot of kids, and so she's juggling a lot with work and sports with her kids, and so she was definitely on the short list after we discussed going forward with trying to get this added, because she is such a great advocate for female sports. I mean, she was just the first person who came to our mind. And so I think she'll do great. She didn't take much convincing. She was definitely on board right away.
When was the board meeting that you spoke at?
November.
So just here recently,
Yes.
in the last month or so.
Yes.
So since then, have you had any people reaching out that said, hey, they were at the board meeting, we want to know more, what else can we do, or be a part of what you guys are doing?
Mainly just positive from the board members. Yeah, just positive moving forward for subsequent discussion at board meetings, which is good.
And you got one coming up, though.
Yes, in
Since we're
January.
talking about board meetings,
Yes.
you got one coming up. When is that?
January 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that is going to be more talk about the potential, or
They wanted to put us on the agenda for that meeting, and correct me if I'm
That's right.
wrong. So when we went the first time, we were just kind of stating our case. And then one of the board members had requested that we be put on the agenda in the new year.
so that's positive.
Yes.
So then that way you have open discussion.
Yes.
So now you have an
Yes.
agenda
Scheduled time.
that you'll be. And how long do you get for that?
I don't know, actually.
Are you able to bring in your outside, your
Yes.
coach or AD from Lompoc and?
Yes, you can bring anyone in.
The girls, too.
The girls,
Yeah.
at any interested party.
Because I really think that's the big push, is seeing the girls' faces.
Yes.
And seeing the interest. Not just moms. Let's get football. For our girls, but have the girls be there. Shoulder to shoulder and saying, hey, we want this.
We had some of them in there for that meeting. It was also kind of quick, because we were trying to get our ducks in a row. So we had a few at the last meeting, and we told them, if you guys want to talk, and of course they were all nervous, but for the next one, a couple of them were like, we're getting up there. We're like, good.
Yeah.
So what kind of equipment have you guys? You mentioned there's some Nike stuff, because I know you got NFL Play flag or
Yes.
something like that, and they're a big advocate for flag football of all sorts of ages.
Yeah. So yeah, you've probably seen, if you've watched any NFL games, you've seen the advertisements for NFL Play, and they have a lot. But I haven't really looked into it. But we have priced out some uniforms and flags, and so we have all the equipment just on standby, ready to order, ready to get going.
So then I think about the other question as far as practice times and availability of school or fields. Especially during the fall time. Have you guys thought about that or had some ideas?
We have some ideas. The practice fields, I think the most logical place would probably be Vineyard. The boys' youth football takes Vineyard in the early evening, but if the girls went right after school, they would probably be able to be on that lower field. And that's kind of the place that I've thought of. I haven't talked with any school officials about any of it. I think getting together maybe with Randy Botts and talking to him might be a reasonable thing to see. And then being able to just see what we could schedule. But there are ample fields available. So I'll have to,
We just need grass.
yeah.
Because you got Bethel, but I don't know. I think that's soccer season, right?
Yeah, rec soccer limits availability of some of the community fields. So it would likely have to be
'cause
school
that's-
fields. Yeah,
Right.
so we would have to work that out. But I think it could be worked out.
So what do you, who would you play? So would it be let's take a break real quick.
'Kay.
And then we're going to find out, because like I said, I mean, you got other schools that are not yet playing, but are they? So let's take a break real quick, and we'll be right back. When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hey, welcome back to What's Up North County. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Get on over to our page, whatsupnorthcounty.com, and you can click and find all the different links like this on our Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and of course, Facebook. But we are talking about the potential of flag football, girls flag football here in Templeton with Lindsay and Tiffany. So we talk about some of the other stuff, but now would this be considered a school sport? Or like, I know a few years back they had club cheer because it somehow got pulled out of the school and then it was a club. Would this be like a school sanctioned everything through the school, the idea of it?
Yes.
So a full functioning sport.
CIF varsity sport.
And so Paso has one now.
Yep.
You said San Luis. And
San
now is
Luis.
that San Luis High School or
Yes.
is it Okay, so
High
San
school.
Luis High
They have
School.
2 teams. They have a JV and a varsity.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So then you guys would just somehow include, because I know like football, for instance, football doesn't necessarily play at Tascadero or Paso or, all these, would it be its own league? Or would it still have to follow some sort of CIF divisions of some sort?
So the idea was that we could be another team to fulfill a division of CIF. And so CIF had 8 teams and there were 3 in one division and 4 in another, and we could be the 4th in that other division. And so hopefully that would work out. I don't know if another team is forming now. We just don't know. And we also don't know timeline. That's something that we have to work on with CIF to see if time-wise we could make this happen.
Make it happen for
the fall.
2026?
Yes.
I mean, in your minds, could it?
Yes.
Because
Without a doubt.
all
Yeah.
the funds are there.
The funds are there. Everything is in place. We just need the go-ahead from the board. And we're willing to put in the time and the work to do it. I think that these teams are receptive to play us. The teams we've reached out to are like, yes, we would love to have another team locally on the schedule.
So you don't know if the other schools like a Tascadero or like say Mission Prep or any of these
Tascadero
other ones,
doesn't have anything in the works.
not even nowhere close.
No, we reached out to them as well.
But maybe this helped. Well, I mean Paso, having their inaugural season this year, last year, whatever you want to call it, drew a lot of interest. And I think they did really good. I think the Paso did really good at it. So, which obviously opens up the eyes to parents, other schools, other athletic directors looking at it as a viable sport in another way. And at the end of the day, the sports bring in the money, to the athletic programs, for the schools, for all the different things that that the football, for instance, and basketball even, generate.
Right.
And so that it's just another sport. But then you start looking at field access, availability, and so you're thinking at Vineyard before youth football starts.
Yes, right after school is the hope.
Now, would there need to be transportation from the high school to the middle school?
Yes.
So there'd have to be something like that. But now you got girls that play softball. They have to get from the high school to the middle school as well during the
To
springtime.
Vineyard, yeah. That's right.
So what do you guys do next? you got a board meeting. I want to keep going back to that. You have the board meeting coming up,
Yep.
which is again when and where and what time?
January 22nd. And the time is to be announced. You know, they've talked about starting a little early to have an athletics only discussion, but that's to be decided. The board meetings start at 6, but they have discussed coming early to have an only athletics discussion. And so it'll have to be determined, but they've thrown out they're coming at 4:30 to have an athletics only discussion.
Now, have you gotten any pushback at all? Like, I mean, I don't want to, throw out any names or anything like that, but anybody that just go, no, that's just really a terrible idea.
I don't think that they've responded with that's a terrible idea. It's more so just brief comebacks of, we're considering it in the years to come.
That can't happen right now.
That can't happen right now kind of thing with, basically our school size and things like that. And for us, it's like, okay, so if we just keep coming back year to year, our girls are going to be juniors or seniors by the time you actually consider it, So that's basically very brief, short responses of reasons why it probably can't happen right now.
And of course, you always look at like the paperwork behind it. What does that entail?
And that's what we don't know.
Right.
Why wait? What is the waiting? Why, all these other schools are getting going. And Paso, I mean, they started their program in a blink. It was like from nothing to a team. And there was almost no time between in the development. Just knowing people on the inside and how it was a decision that within a year they had a team.
Every school we spoke to said that there was no roadblocks and that it was a pretty seamless process. And we don't know, we're happy to discuss the roadblocks if there is any, but haven't been given that opportunity yet. But everyone we spoke to from ADs to coaches was like easy peasy.
So at Templeton's level, does the access or the approval come from the board? Does it come from the AD, the principal? Who ultimately would say, yeah, let's do this?
So I think that the AD and the superintendent, my understanding is the AD, the superintendent, and the principal all have to say yes, and then the school board also says yes. Is my understanding. Because
the athletic department is going to have to fund it, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's outside. I'm sure you guys have all done your homework and figured out already to get the ball rolling with funds to make it very limited impact, on the school's financial burden per se.
Yep.
And then of course you guys already have your coaches, lined up. Mm-hmm. And then what about? I know football has a lot of protocols, for their athletes and their, getting hurt and stuff like that. Does flag football carry that kind of stuff as well? Like, if they get hurt, concussion protocols. There's a concussion protocol, 7-10 days, blah blah blah, and all that.
I'm
stuff.
sure it's the same. I'm sure that the all those protocols, I'm guessing, are the same regardless of sport, soccer, basketball. I'm sure that that's kind of across the board.
And then what is your girls with their friends? What is their friends? I mean, are they bringing in their friends that doesn't play any sports?
I think that most of our girls' friends are athletes, whether it's they want to play flag football or they play volleyball or whatever it is. But I think that the problem with where we're at too is the reach we have, right? Like we don't have a big reach to the high school girls that are already there. We have a few friends who we know whose girls want to play, and then they reached out to their friends. But it's not like we've been like, oh, let's host a meeting at the school, and see who really has interest. There's so many girls there that probably don't play a sport and have no idea that we're trying to put this together. So I just think there's a lot of people that we haven't even reached yet. But
that's a good idea, because knowing, back in the day when my kids were, I mean, it's the parents that get the voice out.
Yes.
And you can't really go and deliver flyers to the school because they won't send your kids home with them.
No.
And it's things like this, podcasts or, Facebook posts or
Yeah.
Instagram posts or, whatever. But the kids are, are the salespeople. They're the voice of the movement. The
Right.
parents are just the parents, kind of wanting to do this, but the kids are the ones that actually are the ones that could go out there and start, could they have stuff at school? Could kids hold like informational meeting? Can you guys hold informational meetings?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either. Yeah, I mean, I know that there's been we've asked about a survey. If there could be a survey put out for interest, and they've agreed to that, and so there should be a more formal survey to the high school girls about if they're interested in playing. But an actual meeting, we haven't talked about that.
Because really, you got to start that now.
Yeah,
Especially for the fall, because I
Yeah.
know football is having their informational
Yep.
meetings for next year.
Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, we're going to start playing next month. There's a lot of
Yeah.
Groundwork beforehand.
Yep.
Right. And the girls who have never played, they need physicals, they need all those things. So yeah.
And so then that way, when you get the interest of the parents of the kids, then you can have that conversation. I'm sure, parents at like any sport have questions regarding safety, anything that any parent would want to ask. But are you guys prepared to answer those kind of questions?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And give the parent the inside sight. Because like you said, you had 2 teams on softball last year. I know the rec department in Templeton, since starting flag football however many years ago, has just blew up. Kind of like soccer. Soccer, you have
Yeah.
9 million kids,
Yeah.
there in Evers on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And, flag football. And then you were talking about Friday Night Lights in San Luis. I know what you're talking about. That is an amazing program.
It is amazing.
And I know Paso does. They do a flag
Next
football
level,
as
which
well.
Next
we're a
level.
part of that as well
Yeah.
with our boys.
Yeah.
And they do have girls programs. We just have to pick and choose because our girls are involved in other things. We've got middle school basketball going on right now. And so we just kind of have to pick and choose. But we're a part of Next Level in Paso and Friday Night Lights in Slow. And just amazing programs.
Let's take a break real quick, and I got another question to ask. So let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
My name is Jennifer Borhone Wescombe.
And I'm Haley Wescombe from Borhone Auto Center. Borhone Auto Center is a family-owned and operated GMC dealership. We are your go-to dealership for quality vehicles. With a vast inventory and personalized service, we are here to make your purchase seamless.
Whether it's a luxurious Yukon or a rugged Sierra, we have the perfect ride for you. Come see us today to experience the Borhone family difference. We are located on the corner of Highway 46 East and Golden Hill Road in Paso Robles.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Hey, welcome back to What's Up North County, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and invite all your friends and family to check us out and check out shows like this, which is informational. And we're talking about the potential for girls flag football here in Templeton with Tiffany and Lindsay. We covered some of the statistics, but I want to touch in a little bit more on the statistics because I know that's your research, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell me the benefits for having girls flag football.
Well, I mean, obviously fitness, right? So fitness is big, and then just being part of a team. Team sports are probably the best thing that you can do developmentally. Growing up and being part of a team is so important, and I think that flag football is something where, like we were talking about earlier, it's something you can start later and still be good at, and still not have to be worried about not having the skills to participate. And so, yeah, I think anybody can play and be successful at it.
And for some parents that may or may not know, what could introducing flag football at the high school level do for the collegiate level?
So, kind of what we were talking about earlier, the amount of colleges that are adding scholarship opportunities for flag football, it's exponentially growing every year. Cal Poly this year, it's flag football for girls is a club sport. And next year, in 26-27, it becomes a competitive club sport. And in 27-28, it becomes a varsity level scholarship sport. So you can actually get a scholarship in 2027 to attend Cal Poly.
So right now you
to
can't.
play flag football.
Right now it's just
Right now it's
volunteer.
club. Yeah, right now it's club, and so for the next 2 years it'll be club. But in 2027 they'll start giving scholarships for.
Why is that?
For it? I think it's a building up of the program, and this is the first year they've had it at all. So it has to start as a club sport, and then they kind of build up the program to play more competitively within with the other schools, I think.
But what you're talking about for Templeton wouldn't be a club. It would be a school sport.
School sport, CIF, affiliated sport. Yeah.
And is there, other than like we were talking about fields availability, grass, somewhere to, play, is there really any other disadvantage of it? Of introducing a flag football program to Templeton?
I honestly can't think of any. I think that's the main pushback we've had is facilities and
athletes. Like where do they come
pulling
from, kind of
athletes.
thing, and pulling them from other sports. But our goal is not to do that. Like we've talked about earlier. Ultimately, it's the girls. It's their choice. But the list that we have is not volleyball girls or tennis girls that are saying, oh yeah, we want to leave this sport and go to this sport.
But it kind of is the same way with all the sports. I mean, the kids have an opportunity or choice to do if they want to cheer, if they want to play soccer, they want to play volleyball, try out for tennis. They're not necessarily like that's your sport.
Yeah.
You must play that sport.
It's more opportunity.
But this could actually be an income generator for the school too.
Yeah, Lompoc was that the coach or the AD? I can't recall. Maybe both. She does both, doesn't she?
I think she's both, yeah.
Was telling us about the tournament they hosted last year that just brought in a ton of money for their program, and then it allows them to just continue and not worry about funds. I believe she told me they had almost 20 teams that came for the tournament.
right.
So you have already businesses that have
Pledged.
pledged and want to back you guys?
Yes, and that's not even us going out like really fundraising. That is local businesses that whether we're affiliated with them or we're not affiliated with them, they want to see this happen. And they just right off the bat were saying, we're gonna pitch in to help fund this. So we just wanted to make sure we got basic numbers from other schools that can fluctuate. So we don't want to say it's going to cost us X amount to start this program. But from the numbers they gave us, we have that covered, no problem.
Because it seems like a relatively inexpensive sport, to fund.
And they started with very basic uniforms that were, cheap and just to get the programs going. And within a year had people, CIF and wanting to get the girls in Nike uniforms and grants and things like that because they want these girls to have that opportunity.
Because we live in such a unique community, and the people that live in Templeton and, the surrounding areas. I mean, you go around to any of these, Ever sports field, you go down there and you look at all the businesses that contribute to build that, to make that happen.
Yep.
And, you've got a lot of, businesses that are very generous to, especially kids.
Yep.
I mean, we look at kids now, everybody, parents, like, oh, they're on their phone playing games in the house. Get them outside. Get them outside. Get them playing some sports.
Yep.
So this gives them that opportunity that, a lot of businesses, would get behind if they have not already, to make happen.
Yep.
To where it's, again, minimal impact on the school. Again, you just have the backside, which you don't know about. What does it take? What is it, to manage, the backside? But I'm sure, like any other sport, it can happen. But then you guys have your guys's, passion for it, and the girls. So again, board meeting is coming up when?
January 22nd.
January 22nd.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Time to be announced, right?
Yeah, it could be a little earlier.
Yeah.
So, but somewhere around there. And where's the board meetings held?
They're in what is that building called? It's right across from the middle school.
The district office.
District
right
office,
across
yes.
from the middle
Yeah,
school
yeah.
on Old
Okay.
County.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the address.
So parents that are interested, kids,
Yep.
girls.
Yep. Our
And-
girls will be there.
How many girls do you think are going to show up?
We're hoping to get 10.
Now, do you have a spokesperson amongst the girls?
We have a couple that are willing to talk this time around. I
Yes.
think they had to see us get up there first. I mean, we're nervous getting up there and doing it. There's something intimidating about it. But when it comes to, advocating for our kids, we're going to do it. And I think after we left, it was like a couple of them were like, okay, I can do that next time. As long as all the girls can stand with me. And we're like, yeah, you can take your buddies up there with you and tell
So
them.
you guys just stood up cold turkey and just said, hey, this is what we want to do. So nobody knew you guys were going there to talk about this.
No.
This was your guys' plan, and you two? And a couple of the girls?
There was a couple of the girls and another
Yes.
couple moms that were there with us
Yeah.
as well. She was our nominated spokesperson, so she got up there and spoke, but she ran out of time because they only give you 2 minutes. So then
Oh, it was this huge alarm went off. It was
2 minutes cut off.
2
hard.
minutes cut off.
So then
she just finished
I just
what I said.
went up and finished what she had
Okay,
to say.
you guys both had a time slot?
Right.
Yeah.
2 minute slot. You're
Yeah.
like, to pick up where
Yeah.
she left off.
Well, I wanted everything that we talked about to be said, So I hadn't planned on getting up there, but it was fine.
So what's next? So we're in the end of December. So you've got fall.
Yeah.
Typically, a sport like flag football requires the interest, B, the equipment, C, the officials, D, I mean, there's so many different things. And then
Yeah.
of course, coaching, plays, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, you guys got to act rather quickly. So
So I think finding out the timeline in terms of being able to create the team, if we are able to create one with CIF, and being able to determine, is this a possibility for fall? And if so, what teams can we get to play? And trying to create a mock schedule and trying to take the guesswork out of it for the powers that be, so that when it comes to pass that they say, yeah, sure, let's have a team, then we can say, okay, here's the teams who want to play. Here's the schedule we kind of have created. And the coaches can just go and get their girls together and start practicing.
what about transportation
So, like to the games?
to the games?
That is something we have to talk with Randy about.
Because that would be like the team van, or the vans.
The vans.
The school
Yeah,
vans.
yeah. And probably 2, I would guess, depending on how many girls there
They
are.
typically hold like 12,
They're
15,
15
something
passenger,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and we haven't had the opportunity to talk about those things, with the school and with the, district, because they haven't really allowed us to talk about it any further or engaged in conversation about it any further. So transportation and things like that, we don't know, but it's something we want to talk about,
So would the board meeting on the 22nd, is that your make or break moment? Is that when you
For 26, I think so. I that's how I feel, and I don't know. Like
I'm not sure, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know when they're gonna say yes, you can have a team, or no, you can't. I don't know the answer to that.
So like if I were to, again, I'll be, the other side here. So come the 22nd. All right, ladies, we've got everything's on the table. We want to do this, but we don't have the manpower to do it. You guys then say, we've already got it all figured out. Here's everything that you guys need to make this happen. Is that kind of where we're at for the 22nd?
we're willing to
Yes,
provide what they need.
yes,
So we need to get parents and kids there on the 22nd
Yep.
to the
Yes.
board meeting, and for potential girls flag football in Templeton.
yes.
And so then after that, hopefully you'll get a green light, which they could give you the green light that night.
We don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure what'll happen that night.
And then what about the CI? Because I know you mentioned CIF. Is that a conversation that still needs to happen?
Yes, in terms of being able to create a team for the fall. We're just not sure
We need to
timeline-wise. if
Find
that
out
can
if
happen.
there's a cutoff for that or something. They've been super helpful when we've called. They just pick up the phone and answer questions. So we just need to reach out to them and say, this is what we're pushing for. When do we need our ducks in a row by, basically?
Well, I really hope it happens because I think it's a sport that's needed, and you see the girls play really any sports. And we, as parents, you want your kids to be able to have all the opportunities they can, especially in school days. I mean, you look back on your school years, I'm sure there's sports, programs that you wish you would have done, but then you were too cool or whatever it may have been then. Now you look back going, gosh, that could have been cool.
The best years, though.
It really is.
It really is.
And then you have sports that could potentially in 4 years from now, which Cal Poly at that point would be a scholarshiped sport.
Right.
And then no telling however many other colleges across the country that already are doing scholarships.
They are.
And then as more and more flag football becomes a normalcy, amongst high school and youth. I mean, look at how many flag football teams there are compared to youth football kids, right?
Yep.
It's probably 10-1.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, you look at a Bantam football team. Templeton couldn't have a Bantam team or an intermediate. But you have flag football and you have boys and girls that are 200 plus.
Right.
Yep.
That's just in Templeton.
Yep.
No telling what Paso has or Atascadero or San Luis now. So.
Yep.
But awesome. Well, let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
Hey, welcome back to What's Up North County, guys. Hey, and if you guys want to know more about the potential for girls flag football, don't miss January 22nd, the board meeting right there in Templeton. So bring your girls, bring your parents, bring everybody and come down and chat about the potential. We want to thank Tiffany and Lindsay for coming in and talking and sharing about this potential and this ball that you guys started rolling. So
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
And again, the door's open. I love talking about football, and I think it's definitely a needed sport that I think would be very, very good. Look at Paso, and you got San Luis as well, and why not? Look at the Powder Puff. Come once a year, stands are filled.
Yeah.
So do you guys have a Facebook page or anything like that?
Not yet,
Not
but
yet.
yeah, we need one.
All right. I think you do.
Yeah.
So that way we can start sending people there and answering any questions that you guys might have. So.
Yep.
So anyways, awesome time. Thank you so much for coming in. Good luck, and look forward to having some more conversations about the potential of girls flag football in Templeton.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and follow us for more information about the potential of girls flag football here in Templeton. But as always, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wine, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, MGP Coatings, Premier Ag, Trailer Barn, Story Termite Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, Airflow Filter Services, and Templeton Heating and Air. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time. When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.